Hello there. Let's take a look at what's happening in Europe. Quite a stormy weekend ahead for many because of a frontal system that's slowly moving its way across the northern half of Europe, and that will bring an introduction of colder air behind it with a northerly wind, but also as it bumps into some warm moist air across the Mediterranean, we're going to see some heavy rain across southern Spain, French Riviera, significant snow through the Alps and some wet weather into northern Italy as well. It's a quieter weekend though for Turkey, for mainland Greece and the Greek Isles, a few scattered showers into the Balkans, not looking too bad into southern Italy. You can see where the extensive rain will tend to sit. A quieter story across Portugal, nowhere near as warm as it has been in Spain, and in fact that colder air extending right across northern Europe, but at least there'll be some sunny spells and just a scattering of showers. Even into Sunday, that wet weather will gradually drift its way steadily north out across the Alps up into Germany and to Poland and eventually into western parts of Russia as well. So the outlook then for the next 5 days shows a quieter spell of weather, but not a particularly warm one in London, in Paris or in Madrid. We'll keep some showers into Rome. Further east, well, it looks as though things are turning colder into Moscow into next week. Take care. Hello there. There always seems to be something to talk about in North America. Let's take a look at the prospects as we head into the weekend. Two areas of cloud to point out to you. One, a weather front pushing into British Columbia. Another was an area of rain from a deep area of low pressure that moved its way across parts of Texas, Mississippi, and is now moving out of the Carolinas up into Washington as well, and there'll be some heavy rain associated with that. Behind it though, it's quieter for Texas, up into the Rockies, a good deal of dry weather. So let's take a look out to the northwest and see exactly what's going to be happening as we move into the weekend. That frontal system on Friday will have some rain on the leading edge. There'll be some snow, and with any elevation, a similar story. Showery outbreaks of rain into Vancouver and perhaps into Oregon. But for California, it looks fine, settled and sunny, and that transcends further inland across to parts of Nevada as well. So some showery outbreaks of rain for Vancouver and Seattle into the weekend. San Francisco and LA look pleasant enough. Here's that heavy rain then on Friday, moving out of Georgia and Tennessee, pushing up through the Carolinas, up to Washington. Eventually that'll be moving into New York as well. Behind it, some warm, moist air, a lot of heavy rain, but drier, brighter conditions following on behind. So that means another cool feel to Montreal and New York into the weekend, but Atlanta will warm up from Sunday. Hello there. A forecast for Mexico and Central America coming up shortly. But first of all, let's take a look at what's happening in South America. Quite an extensive satellite picture picking up shower cloud out of the Amazon basin down into southern Brazil. Also some activity further south. So a weather front bringing some rain into the southern tip of Chile. It'll be quite windy with it as well. The heaviest of the rain across Uruguay, southern Brazil and Paraguay. And we will continue to see some showers through the Amazon basin, not as extensive as they can be at this time of year, so affecting parts of Colombia and down into Ecuador. We'll see some heavier rain, as I say, Paraguay, southern areas of Brazil and down into Uruguay. Northern Argentina, fine, settled, quite warm with it. Temperatures likely into the mid-20s, and there's that showery rain into the southern tip of Chile. This is the forecast then for the next 5 days. Good deal of dry weather into Rio de Janeiro, the rain easing off. Buenos Aires picks up a few isolated showers. Now, the story in Mexico is an improving one after recent heavy rain. A few isolated showers, but certainly a drier story as we go into the weekend. Some showers down into Central America, some of them quite extensive. And there'll be a few isolated showers through the Caribbean, not spoiling the sunshine on the whole. Those temperatures will be in the low 30s and showers should be fairly fleeting. And so the city forecast reflects that, with the exception of San Jose, the rain easing from Tuesday. Hello there. Super Typhoon U2 left a trail of devastation across the Mariana Islands on Thursday. Now, the storm at the moment continues to track in a westerly direction. There is still a great deal of uncertainty as to the exact path that this storm is going to take. Likely, though, not to have an impact close to the Philippines or Taiwan until early next week. So we will keep you updated. But we've got some rain easing out of Japan for Saturday. It looks a quieter story, a similar story for the Korean Peninsula and into much of China. There'll be a good deal of dry weather. A few isolated showers along the east coast of Vietnam, more significant showers into the Philippines here. But it does look as though we will continue to see a good deal of sunshine as well. Here's the story then for the next 5 days. Those sunny spells are set to continue. And you can see those temperatures peaking perhaps in the low 20s for many cities. It looks as though on Saturday we'll see some rain through central areas of Australia. And the heat builds continuing across that east coast, but it's a different story across Tasmania and also into New Zealand. It's cooler, a southerly breeze here, more showers to come for the start of the weekend. As you can see, Wellington 14 degrees, there'll be more extensive rain into Auckland. That showery theme set to continue into the early half of next week as well. Hello then. Well, a relatively quiet story across South Asia, as you'd expect now at this time of year. We have got this northeasterly monsoon wind still producing some heavier rain through Sri Lanka, but generally speaking, it's hot, it's dry, and it's settled across much of Pakistan and India. So the risk of a few showers towards Maldives, some heavier rain through Sri Lanka, and maybe affecting southern states of Tamil Nadu as well. But further north, it's a settled story with temperatures peaking at 37 degrees. Now let's move into Central Asia, where there's a weather front at the moment. And really it's moving towards Kazakhstan and into Turkmenistan. There'll be some rain on that as well. Behind it's going to introduce somewhat cooler air, but ahead of it, a lot of fine weather into Afghanistan as well. So down through Pakistan to India, we've already mentioned those temperatures into the high 30s. Little risk perhaps in Tamil Nadu, but generally speaking on Saturday, a drier story. The heavier rain centred into Sri Lanka. Fine and settle, a few isolated showers into Bangladesh and maybe through the Himalayas. This is the 5-day city forecast then. And as you can see, plenty of dry, sunny weather with the exception of Colombo. Still those temperatures though peaking at 31 degrees. It's settled and sunny elsewhere. A few isolated showers in Tashkent will ease away as well. Hello there. Weather forecast for the Middle East coming up shortly, but first let's take a look at Africa, where there's a real north-south divide at the moment. We've got heat wave conditions continuing across South Africa, hardly a cloud in the sky. Further north though, there's a weather front through the Mediterranean that will be affecting the far northwest, and that will bring some heavy rain over the next week or so across Morocco. We could see as much as 100 millimetres, which could cause some issues. Seasonal rains not as extensive as they have been. Hardly a cloud in the sky further south, and in fact temperatures in Cape Town on Saturday likely to peak at 32 degrees. That has been the story in recent days, and it looks as though we won't see those temperatures easing off until Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. As for the far northwest, it stays pretty unsettled, and so that will have an impact on the temperatures. As I say, we could see some rains which could bring some localised flooding before the situation improves. We have had some localised flooding across parts of Turkey, through Georgia and also close to the Caspian Sea. Still some showers here, but mostly confined to Iran and perhaps towards Kuwait. Further south of that, it's fine, it's settled, it's sunny and it's pretty hot as well. There is a localised shamal blowing that could bring a little bit of lifted dust, but certainly it's improving picture on what we have seen so far this week. And the city forecasts show that. A lot of dry weather in the story, just some showers to come in Riyadh.